It's Saturday, 13th of June 2026. Good evening, Uganda, and welcome to News Night at 8 on Top Television. I'm Asha Muya. Tonight, we begin with Brigadier General Chris Bagonza, the Chief of Staff Land Force, has implored the 105 graduates to be loyal and continue guarding the peace and stability in the country and beyond. This was during the passing out of Grade 3 staff course in Jinja District.
Brigadier General Chris Bagonza, the Chief of Staff Land Forces, has officiated a pass out of Grade 3 staff course intake 39/26 at Junior Staff College in Jinja.
In Nakasongola.
Speaking during the pass out, Brigadier General Bagonza says that the day has marked a milestone that reflects several months of hard work, sacrifice, dedication, critical thinking, and intellectual growth.
Worked hard for it, and let me say congratulations to you, members of Course 39. I also thank our families for their support to you during the period of the course.
Chief of Defense Forces and Special Presidential Advisor in charge of Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has been commended for making such trainings a priority in the transformation of UPDF into a modern army.
To the leadership of UPDF for investing in professional development of both officers and men at the various levels of our training that has made UPDF a highly trained and professional force that can undertake on any task on its own.
Brigadier General Bagonza remarked that the exercise strengthens professional competency and sharpens officers' ability to operate under dynamic and demanding operational environments.
Training of bigger responsibility. The knowledge and skills you have been equipped with must now be translated into effective service in the field and units. I think those of you who are in the syndicates, I have already mentioned to you this, that whereas we are dealing with theories here, there is a given time T when you will be required to apply this knowledge in reality. The realism will set in.
He also urged them to be exemplary, respect themselves, and nurture others for continuity of the force.
Respect yourselves and nurture those who have not had the opportunity to train here. Some of us, when we leave colleges, we have acquired knowledge. We don't like grooming up other people. A good leader is that one who grooms others such that even when you are not there, there is continuity.
The commandant of the Junior Staff College, Brigadier General Chris Ogwol, commended the defense leadership for supporting the course and congratulated the new graduating officers for successfully completing the course.
Syndicate room discussions, indoors and field exercises. We had a study tour to National Enterprise Corporations in Nakasongola, headquarters Special Forces in Entebbe, and headquarters of 3 Infantry Division Moroto, to enable students appreciate socio-economic and industrial development of the country, and also to appreciate challenges faced by staff officers in support of combat operations.
Out of 105 graduating officers, including 16 female officers, demonstrated dedication, professionalism, and commitment to duty throughout the training period.
Not only
the graduation was also attended by Brigadier General Flavia Byekwaso, the Chief of Staff at Uganda Rapid Capability Center, Brigadier General Michael Soze Sesanga, the Commandant Non-Commissioned Officers Academy at Gaddafi Barracks, representatives from sister security forces, directing staff, senior and junior officers, and families of the graduates, among others.
Moving to our next story, stakeholders and Ministry of Health have come together to discuss lenacapavir injection rollout as a new hope to fight HIV/AIDS in the country. Our reporter has news in details. The government of Uganda is set to roll out lenacapavir drug in 104 health facilities this year.
Lenacapavir, we have other drugs for the prevention of HIV that are also available in our facilities. We have been distributing this drug to a number of facilities. For this year, we shall be covering about 104 health facilities. The drug is free to those who actually need it, and when you actually go there, you will be tested, and for HIV first you have to be screened. We have limited doses.
Dr. Pamela Achil from the Ministry of Health shares the criteria of the person to be administered with the drug and the process they are supposed to go through.
And then you'll be provided information on how actually to take care of yourself when you're taking this medicine. So then once you have actually met all the criteria to be able to be eligible for lenacapavir, a person is then provided this lenacapavir.
Pamela says that the journey of lenacapavir was started way back in 2025 when the innovator cited Uganda as one of the key African countries to benefit from this project.
Receiving lenacapavir, we started this process way back in 2025 when the product became available through the innovator, which is actually Gilead. And so the government of Uganda took immediate steps as one of the few African countries actually to start introducing this medicine in our country.
She adds that the drug was launched in Lira district in the month of April, but earlier in March, people had started using it. This given to people who are at risk of acquiring HIV. The young people will continue using other drugs, but advises them to abstain, and the married should be faithful to their partners.
In April, I think many of you were able to see that the drug was actually launched in Lira, where we provided this lenacapavir to our people and making sure that they're actually able to access for HIV prevention.
Pamela asks all the people intending to take lenacapavir to follow all the cautions given by the health workers to avoid any problems that might come along.
It is really used for people who are at substantial risk of acquiring HIV. And it is important that we continue to actually use other tools for prevention of HIV, especially among the young people, where abstinence is the most effective tool, but also people.
Lenacapavir is a groundbreaking, long-acting HIV drug administered twice a year and serves two primary purposes: to prevent HIV infection and as part of combination treatment. From that story, yesterday we brought you the Employment Amendment Act 2025 shows sexual harassment and intimidation are prohibited by the law. Today we unveil how these boys by then were involved.
It is being discovered that there was an error, but not that there is new evidence. That evidence, what Pastor Kayanja is talking about, is the substance.
Aftertalk Media Group bringing you scenarios how people are sexually harass others. Today we bring you concrete evidence the men were harassed according to police expert under the Department of Forensic. These men who allege that Pastor Robert Kayanja sodomized them while on duty of work, which shows that the Employment Amendment Act 2025 caters for all of this. On top of being sexually harassed, Ewan Reagan came out openly and said that after being used, he was not paid. Instead, he became a burden to Pastor Robert Kayanja. These were released through the audios, direct messages shown to court by the expert. Some messages read that after using me, you have failed to pay me so that I live in good life also. All these messages contain some obscene words which are not allowed to be aired. So some of the words were being kept away from the good of our audience, especially the children, because we very well know that they watch this station. The police expert stated before court proceedings that these messages were retrieved from the phone number under the name of Mosei and registered under Robert Kayanja names.
Meanwhile, Center for Domestic Violence Prevention has trained journalists on how they should bridge the gap between gender-based violence and climate change. Anna Nasamula, a senior program officer at Center for Domestic Violence Prevention, says that many women are facing challenges of climate change that has ended up contributing to domestic violence. Journalists under the umbrella body of Uganda Parliamentary Press Association have been called upon to be the mouthpiece of the locals by reporting what is affecting them during their daily lives. Sam Ibanda Mugabe, the president of Uganda Parliamentary Press Association, says that it is crucial for journalists to report correct and accurate information for the good of the public.
To understand the importance of why we need to provide airspace for people to come out, give their stories, tell their stories about how they have survived gender-based violence, how they have been able to address issues related to gender-based violence, but also the way forward as journalists, as government, as communities on how we can fight gender-based violence. Because gender-based violence does not only affect women as people think, it even affects men.
He says that after the training provided by Center for Domestic Prevention, together with Uganda Women Parliamentary Association, journalists have acquired enough skills to fight against climate change.
That we are focused on training journalists, it's gender and climate change. We need to understand that the two are interlinked, gender and climate change. We have seen on a number of instances where climate change has affected the gender and it has caused some gender-based violence. Those that have attended this training, the journalists can agree with me. They have given us a number of examples of how climate change effects have affected issues related to gender in terms of gender-based violence and have been one of the causes of these gender-based violence in our homes.
Ibanda adds that as journalists, we should hold accountable the authorities, giving an example of the recently borrowed money for the solar-powered irrigation project 2, which is going to fuel agriculture in the country.
Parliament passing a loan that is intended at implementing irrigation systems, powered irrigation systems in the country. As journalists, we need to go a long way and find out what was the performance of the first loan. And if the performance was positive, then let's do those positive stories and show the country, show Ugandans that indeed irrigation is very important.
Some of the journalists who got the opportunity to gain knowledge during the training have stated how they are going to implement the information.
To humanize the story, for it to be able to capture the government attention and the other stakeholders. Because when a media person amplifies the voice of a survivor, it makes a lot of sense, and then people will be able to understand that gender-based violence is a serious vice and needs to be curbed. Then the other thing that I like is that
you can also cross the gender being so thank you for this opportunity.
We should make sure that we amplify these voices behind them in our communities.
Ann Nasamula, Senior Programming Officer for Center for Domestic Violence Prevention, says that by training the journalists, it is the rightful thing since they amplify the voice of the voiceless.
But also climate change affects. Climate change can affect the way you're living. For example, of course, when it's hot, you cannot be able to get enough food, but at the same time, it will affect the way you live. with your parties or with your families. So it is two-way, and it is something that we really have to pay attention to.
Nasamula has shown how climate change has contributed to the fueling of gender-based violence in the different areas.
There are wetlands, and enough wetlands help in the climate. What happens? They have a similar role like trees, not so? Wetlands have a similar, I may not be a scientist, but they have a similar role like the wet trees. So when you cut trees, when you build in wetlands, when you start doing fishing in wetlands, when you start planting rice in wetlands, that means you are affecting the climate, and there will be climate change altogether. When there is deforestation, when there is when you build industries in wetlands, though we've seen some bagaga in Uganda. Why are we building in wetlands? We have examples, but we'll not go there. Someone is saying, at least if you get the real definition, things of beating, things of sexual harassing someone, things of stopping someone from work, things of abusing someone. So that is what? GBV.
Titus Asimwe, a counsel from Women Pro Bono Initiative, has cautioned journalists on providing accurate information to the public.
For example, you just understood that when it floods here, it doesn't affect each one of us the same way. There's a school where people were entering classrooms and everyone was standing and they were telling girls, you leave your, they said, no one comes with bags in the school. Leave your bags behind everyone. But now, as a person who understands, who has gender mind, you understand that for women, you're protecting people from cheating exams. If you're stopping them to come with their bags, some of them are into the menstruation. They are going to choose between an exam and leaving the bag behind. So as a leader, as a media person, you need to understand issues. You know that just telling people to leave their bags out of the gate because you're protecting cheating, you're actually disenfranchising certain section of people.
Still watching Newsnight. Let's take a very short break. We will be right back.
Omuzadde omulungi kankwanjuli essomero egenda osomesa omwana wo ku mutindo ogwesiimisa Code High School Ssetabajjo Kampala. Bw'oleeta omwana wo ku Code High School ku magezi ag'omu kibiina ajja kugatako emisomo gy'ebyemikono ng'okufumba, okukola enviiri, okutunga, okuvuga n'okukanika, amasomo ga kompyuta kw'ossa n'amasomo g'ennimi omuli Oluswayiri, Olufalansa n'ebirala bingi. Okuwandiisa abaana kugenda mu maaso ku ssomero ne ku ofiisi y'e Makerere Kavule. Okumanya ebisingawo tukubire ku 0773 295 900. Code High School Ssetabajjo Kampala, building leaders now.
Tired of the limits? Tired of slow connections? It's time to break free. Introducing BCC Net from Blue Crane Communications. Choose the package that fits your life. BCC Lite, 20 Mbps. BCC Pro, 50 Mbps. Or BCC Extreme, 100 Mbps. For every need, every moment. Learning, conferencing, gaming, and so much more. Switch to BCC Net today. BCC Net, fast, reliable, and true unlimited internet. Blue Crane Communications is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Muzadde yenna weetaaga okuwa omwana wo omusingi omulungi mu byenjigiriza kati kankwanjulire Life Primary School Ssetabajjo. Lino ly'essomero lyokka gy'ogenda okutwala omwana wo omuto afune ebyenjigiriza nga bya mulembe. Essomero lino lyakakasibwa Ministry ey'ebyenjigiriza n'ebyemizannyo. Liri mu kifo kigazi bulungi. Lirina computer lab, ekisaawe ky'ebyemizannyo, omugunjula ebitone by'abaana. Bw'otuleetera omwana wo obeera n'obukakafu abaana bayita bulungi ebigezo, bagunjula bulungi mu mpisa ne mu ddeeni. Ebisulo byabwe bya mulembe ddala ate nga balabirirwa bulungi. Life Primary School lisangibwa Seeta Bajjo kilomita 1.5 okuva ku Jinja Kampala Highway okyamira ku Kigunga Trading Center. Okwewandiisa kugenda maaso ku ssomero wennyini okumanya ebisingawo kuba ku namba za simu zino 0768 59 57 12 oba 0743 35 55 25. Life Primary School.
Early risers give their tithe of the time of the day to God. By going on their phone to read, or in their Bibles to read, whatever Bible you read, electronic or paper, you give God an opportunity to work in your life in the morning.
Okuyita mu kusoma Bayibuli yabo oba ya ku ssimu oba ya buliwo naye akaseera kowa Katonda ng'osoma Bayibuli n'ekigambo kye oba oyingizza Katonda ng'omuwadde ekiseera ky'okumakya.
For me, I read 2 to 3 passages or chapters a day.
Nze nsoma essuula 2 ku 3 olunaku.
That's what I do. 2 to 3 chapters a day. And I know that is good. In the morning, before I get out. But after that, these people, they gather their thoughts for where they want to go. And after that, if they have time, they go to work, or they are still at home, they start working on their projects.
Tired of the limits? Tired of slow connections? It's time to break free. Introducing BCC Net from Blue Crane Communications. Choose the package that fits your life. BCC Lite, 20 Mbps. BCC Pro, 50 Mbps. Or BCC Extreme, 100 Mbps. For every need, every moment. Learning, conferencing, gaming, and so much more. Switch to BCC Net today. BCC Net, fast, reliable, and true unlimited internet. Blue Crane Communications is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Muzadde yenna weetaaga okuwa omwana wo omusijja omulungi mu byenjigiriza katika nkwanjulire Life Primary School Seeta Bajjo. Lino ly'essomero lyokka gy'ogenda okutwala omwana wo omuto afune ebyenjigiriza nga bya mulembe. Essomero lino lyakakasibwa Ministry ey'ebyenjigiriza n'ebyemizannyo. Liri mu kifo kigazi bulungi. Lirina computer lab, ekisaawe ky'ebyemizannyo, omugunjulo ebitone by'abaana. Bw'otuleetera omwana wo obeera n'obukakafu abaana bayita bulungi ebigezo bagunjula bulungi mu 25. Life Primary School Seeta Bajjo, Future Transformers.
Come back from that very short break. Topping on our broadcasting tonight, Mbabazi Chaligonza, who was contesting with Paddy Chisembo in Chikube chairperson by elections NRM flag bearer, has finally come to terms to support the chosen one.
There had been divisions among supporters of Philip Mbabazi Chaligonza, who was initially expected to carry the NRM flag in the Chikube district chairperson by-election, and those backing Paddy Chisembo, whom the party later endorsed, and the Electoral Commission disqualified Mbabazi over irregularities in his academic documents. The two camps had been at odds despite both belonged to the NRM party. NRM leaders have been urging Mbabazi's supporters to put aside their differences and rallied behind Chisembo to ensure victory, since he is official party flag bearer following Mbabazi's disqualification. Several leaders who were supporting Mbabazi officially crossed over and joined Paddy Chisembo's camp during the meeting attended by senior officials, including the Minister of Bunyoro Affairs, Honorable Grace Mary Mugasa. The meeting was held at RDC's office in Kikube district, where Grace Mary Mugasa called upon residents of Kikube to set aside their differences, congratulating those who had joined Kisembo's camp and urged them to support him in order to ensure victory for NRM.
People of Kikube, today I was honored to join the team that is mobilizing for our flag bearer Pade. I've also met with the NRM Secretariat staff, the honorable MPs, the honorable councillors, and all the leaders of Kikube really. I want to thank God that at this point in time, we are moving as a team. Everybody has been reconciled, the team of Barnett and the team of Pade. We are moving as a team. And that is really the spirit of NRM. We want to
thank the leaders, the team leaders from Philip side who have joined us, the councillors, the task force for Philip which has come for this kind of reconciliation, which shows a good spirit for NRM. I really applaud them for that initiative. And I'm calling them upon that I will also not let them down. Once they have come to join me, we are going to work as one team for service delivery for Kikube.
To work with us. For them, they say as long as it is NRM, they'll go with the candidate now, who is the Pade Kisembo. So we feel good. We know now we are going to win this election. Because one of them has been a chairperson of Kyangwali, the biggest sub-county, and with the highest number of people, more than 50,000. So him coming here, telling us that he's going to vote for, to mobilize for Pade, that is a great, we have caught a big fish.
Dr. Rosemary Seninde congratulated those who had abandoned their divisions and joined Kisembo's camp, asking them to put their disagreements behind and support the party candidate.
Meeting because we had to actually explain to them why we have Pade as the candidate for the party, Pade Kisembo. And I think they have actually understood because they have asked their questions and they have actually joined the camp. Ourselves because of the internal conflicts, because there are some who were supporting Philip Chaligonza, there are some who were supporting Pade, the one we gave the flag. Now, if we don't work hard to unite the people, that is where we may get challenges, and that is the effort we are really putting in here in Kikube, and we are really working very hard. And I know at the end of the day, the end justifies the means. So we are praying that the end is good and.
From that report, we head to the country budget. After the reading and passing of the 2026 to 2027 budget worth 84 trillion, Ugandans have shared their views on how the money was distributed among the various sectors.
Speaker, the strength.
Earlier this week, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Honorable Henry Musasizi, presented 2026-2027 national budget totaling Ugandan shillings 84.3 trillion.
Engage in wealth creation, and every leader must be accountable for transforming households and communities.
In this budget, the judiciary is allocated 665.5 billion for the upcoming financial year 2026-2027. The Speaker of Rubaga Division in Kampala District, Yusuf Katabira, said that the judiciary should have been given adequate funding to enable it effectively combat corruption.
Munkaaga nezigwamu kituufu omulamuzi yalisaanye okufuna akasente akamala obaolyawo okulwana mu ngeri y'okulwanyisa enguzi. Tosobola kubeera ng'omulamuzi omuwa miliyoni 2 buli mwezi okugeza oba 3 oli n'amuleetera omusango gwa buli biliyoni 3 ku ebyo 3 oli n'amugamba kuwako biliyoni 5 nga niwoba mu myaka 5 walina ozikolera tasobola ayinza okukemebwa so kiba kirungi naye wadde kiba kirungi kyannaku nti era budget zibadde zifuluma ng'osigenda muzibaliwa ssente naye nowulira nga bangi babanja emisango gitudde mingi nnyo abalamuzi sijja gamba nti batono webali kati ki ekireetera ekyo nti abamonitaringa nabo balina okukola omulimu nti bwe baba bawadde ssente zino neza monitoring weziri ebintu bitambule mu ggwanga.
John Katumba, a timer trade in Bwaise, urged government prioritize improving roads in rural areas, saying that trucks transporting their goods frequently break down because of the many potholes on the roads they use.
Kuweereza abantu bannansi tweweereza ffenna kimu oluguudo balukola terwawula minisita na muntu wa bulijjo ffenna tuluyitako kyenkanya oluguudo lungi tugasiza ffenna wamu tubasaba ssente bwe bazitadde nti zigenda kukola nguudo zigenda genda mu agriculture zigenda genda mu byanjigiriza surface delivery ffenna tutuukeko kubanga tusobole okuganyulwa kyenkanyi fa tusobole kubanga tusobole okufuna.
The Deputy Mayor of Lubaga, Hajat Fatuma Muguluma Nansobuga, urges the government to reduce the imposed high taxes on goods that people use in their daily lives.
Yebaamuyirwako okubeera nga bagula tulabanga kigenda kwongera kunyigiriza munnayuganda. Tusaba gavumenti nze nziramu gisaba etunule mu bintu ebigasa abantu ba wansi ebikkakkanyeko ku musolo.
Political analyst Isaac Keith Sally expressed concern about the large amount of money allocated to servicing public debt, saying it is unlikely to benefit ordinary Ugandans.
Mwajukire nti kakati Uganda saawa eno tubanjibwa trillions 129 zezitubanjibwa ku sente zezitubanjibwa tu projectinze mu 2026 tugenda kusasulako trillions za 3.3. Kino kitegeeza ati kiba kitegeeza nti taxpayer agenda kubonaabona nnyo kuluma nti otunuulira domestic financing ojja kusanga sente mpitirivu nnyo gye batamanyi na sente zigenda kuva.
Our story marks the end of Newsnight. I'm Asha Muya. Please have a blessed night.